don't think you guys even know how 5 Minute Walk started.
We'd love to
Um,
hear.
so
Yeah.
when after university, I traveled for 3 years and had a blast. And then I was in Australia teaching scuba diving, and just was like, okay, I'm I've seen all the world has to offer. I'm ready to go back and do something fun and do something because I loved the Lord the whole time. But I wanted to see what the world had to offer, and so I did a little field trip, and it was fantastic. But then I was ready to go back. So when I got back to California, dancing was super popular. So I just opened up a little dance club because my heart the whole time had been, how do you tell people about a friendship with Christ without it sounding like you're a freak and that it's a bizarre thing. So I opened up a dance club really just to create friendships and to create community, and was having a blast. And then all of a sudden, Nevermind comes out. Nirvana's Nevermind.
Mhm.
And in California, it was the fastest pivot of sociology I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it went
Wow.
from dancing is fun to like within 3 to 4 weeks, all these kids are wearing flannel and saying success is failure and this sucks. And I just wanted to serve kids. So I thought, perfect, I'll just switch it over to live music and started booking some
Oh,
alternative bands. And we did do you guys remember the 77s?
Oh yeah.
So
mhm. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So we did a couple local bands first, and then we did a 77 show that sold out, and it was a blast. And I was hooked then. At that point, I just was like, oh man, I'm all in on this. And then the next band I did was called the Prayer Chain. I don't know if you guys remember the Prayer
Yeah.
Chain, but
Oh
they
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
so they played my show. My club was called The Scream, and they played there, and we had a blast. And then about a week later, Tim called me and said, "Hey, our label's making us have a manager. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Well, I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure I can figure it out." So a week later, I'm back at GMA, which was Gospel Music Association
Hmm.
in Nashville, a
Hmm.
huge convention back then, and it was huge because it was all the retailers, so like 3,000
Right.
Right.
retailers from around the industry. And so I was kind of freaked out by it because it was a little bit goofy to me, but trying to figure it out. So we go to a meeting at their record label, which was Reunion Records, and they had the number one song in the world at that time. It was Michael W. Smith's "Your Place in This World."
Oh
Right.
yeah.
It was charting all around the world. I
A
mean,
classic.
yeah, it was a great song, but so they're just riding high, between Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith. The owners managed Amy, and then had Michael on Reunion Records. But in that meeting, they said, "Hey guys, great news! We got $75,000 for your budget, and we got such and such to do a video for you, and it's only 72,000, for that." And I had never heard of the guy, but at the time, I was already working for MTV, and I was doing all their live specials. And I said, "Who's going to watch this video? You guys are too, we're too wimpy for MTV. We're too hard for the church. No one's going to watch this. Just give me the money and we'll tour them." And they were like offended because apparently it was some, professional video guy or whatever. But I knew that we weren't playing it at MTV, and I knew that maybe 7 churches in the whole country would be willing to play that. So, but the A&R guy, super nice guy, like really kind soul, but he gets up out of his chair and he walks over to me and he puts his hands on my shoulders and he goes, "Hey kid, you got to trust us. We've been doing this a long time." And I was just like, "Oh, it's freaking on, man." It is. And so I walked.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like,
right.
I walked out of the meeting. I told Andy, the guitar player, I'm like, those grown-ups, they don't know the world changed. They have no idea that the world changed, and they're gonna, pitch you like Michael W. Smith. This isn't gonna work. And
Right.
so Andy had a side project at that time called My Brother's Mother, which was, really great vocalist and super cool music. But I'm like, dude, let's do a label. We'll totally do it, and you can teach me what that means and stuff. And so we were 100% winging it and just having a blast. But it was from that grown up telling me that I had to trust him. I'm like, no, I'm not going to trust you because you're going to screw this band and you're going to treat them like they're grown ups and you're going to miss their audience and you're going to burn them out and they're going to become drug addicts and die. So that
Right.
was
Yeah.
probably
Right.
hyperbole, but it was that that frustration that grown-ups in the church and everybody was missing that Nirvana and Pearl Jam had changed the world. It was not going back to candy pop, and if you tried to force that down, it wasn't going to work. So yeah, that's how 5 Minute Walk actually started, was just out of that frustration.